Welcome to Everyman's Voice. We're cutting through the noise to bring you the straight truth on world events, politics, and the front lines of stories that matter. No spin, no script, just the facts and a perspective you won't hear anywhere else. Brought to you by Norkris Productions. I'm your host, Patriotdewd.
Records were my favorite lullaby. Before I walked out to stand on my mama's knee, and I'm corn-fed, purebred, standing tall as I can get, red, white, and true country. I grew up a country mile down a country road.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Everyman's Voice. Today we've got a lot to cover, so we're going to get right to it here. Number one, the Dirty Dozen, the missing scientist, the mystery every man needs to know about the 12 people in most recent cases. This is not conspiracy. This is a pattern and a real concern. The government's response. On Thursday, April 16th, 2026, President Donald Trump walked onto the south lawn of the White House, heading to Marine One and a trip to Las Vegas. A reporter asked him about the scientist. His answer, verbatim, quote, "I just left a meeting on that subject." So pretty serious stuff. Hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, whatever you want to call it, but some of them are very important people, and we're going to look into it. I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. The White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, had previewed the investigation from the podium the day before, calling the cases worth looking into. The FBI committed to providing all assistance requested, and its spokesman said no stone will go unturned. Energy Secretary Chris Wright confirmed on Fox News Sunday, April 19th, a lot of nuclear security scientists are in the Department of Energy. So yes, of course, we are looking into this. The deadline Trump set was in the next week and a half. Now that was up on April 26th. And the funny thing about this is you don't see anything about this really per se on mainstream media. I saw a little piece on it about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago.
You don't see much of it on any media.
None.
And it was on Newsmax and covered
Yep.
very well by Affinity the other
Yep.
day. But anyhow, the right now, the people like us, the podcast people, we're covering this pretty well. That's, if you do a search just on one of the people, here's what comes up.
Oh, yeah.
And so the podcast people are talking about it. Anyhow, where am I at on here now? Two senior voices anchor the expert debate. Former FBI Assistant Director Chris Sweeker, 24-year Bureau veteran, put it plainly to News Nation and Fox News. The first thing you go to is its potential espionage. Our scientists have been targeted for a long time, especially in the rocket propulsion area, by hostile foreign intelligence services like China, Russia, even some of our friends like Pakistan, India, Iran, and North Korea. They target this type of technology. It's been happening since the Cold War. I think we've even seen instances where nuclear scientists have been taken out. They've been assassinated, and this has to be fully investigated by the FBI, not the 3 different local police departments. Some, perhaps 3 that of the 13 they're talking about right now, well, actually 3 of 12, are explainable. The rest are very suspicious. 4 clusters off of one street in Pasadena, 4 clusters in New Mexico, 8 counting McCaslin, General McCaslin, retired general, overlap with Risa, who is a scientist who also turned up missing, have directed institutional ties to rocket propulsion, including anti-gravity, nuclear weapons, and classified reconnaissance. I know that that's 11 that we just talked about, but we're going to talk about the 12th one in a minute here. This has been an ongoing happening. There are more over a wider period of years. The key figure is William Neal McCaslin. He was a general. He's linked to anti-gravity research, space, UFOs, NASA, government propulsion forms, and he's got a very high government clearance. Retired in 2013 to 16. I'm not real clear on that, but in that range. He maintained his military clearance and worked for government suppliers. Many of the others are directly or indirectly tied to McCaslin. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Full database includes 110 cases dating from 1924 to 2015. There was 8 cases in the 1990s, 2000s there was 72 cases, 2010s there was 30 cases. Now just since 2022 to 2026, 11 more additional cases. 3 waves, 3 patterns. The first pattern from 82 to 1990, the Marconi wave, and then from 2001 to 2005, the microbiologist waves, and then in 2007 to 2020, the Iranian nuclear wave. There are adjacent cases that fit the template also. Many involve NASA scientists and engineers. Most recent was David Wilcock, and he was actually a UFO investigator. He wasn't really a scientist, but he was found dead on April 20th of this year, and he's the 12th person. He's a little different in the sense that he wasn't a scientist and he didn't work in nuclear propulsion or anti-gravity or anything, but 48 hours after doing his podcast where he referenced this cluster of 11 on camera, he possibly became the 12th victim. Amy Eskridge, 34, in a video said she was being followed and has been for quite a while, clearly freaked out about it. I watched the video. I read she was planning to expose UAPs. Just before she died on 6/11/2022, supposedly by self-inflicted gunshot wounds, she texted a friend and said something to the effect of, if she died, she didn't commit suicide or do anything illegal. She had been working on anti-gravity technology, according to a Newsweek article. Her death is being re-examined because they don't believe now, maybe it wasn't suicide.
Now, question,
yeah.
if I can interrupt.
Go
Are
ahead.
all of them dead?
Dead or
Or-
missing.
Missing.
General McCaslin went out for a walk and never came back.
Yep.
And we're going to go into this a little bit more here pretty soon.
And they don't know for sure the ones that are missing if
They can't
what-
find them.
what's-
They've looked.
Yep.
They can't find them. And they left their homes with all their belongings and everything, and
Yep.
like they were just going out for a walk or whatever, and they would be home soon, and they never came back. They just disappeared.
Pretty coincidence.
It is. The FBI and House Committee on Oversight have officially launched a joint investigation into this mystery, but they're not talking about this. Everyman's question: are these individual tragedies, or is there a dark pattern targeting those on the verge of propulsion breakthrough? Perhaps the oil industry protecting its interests, because a lot of this ties into free energy. Our government conspiracy to keep this technology out of the foreground, perhaps. But a quick recap here, and I believe these are the ones that really brought to light the mystery. David Wilcock, the 12th case, famed UFO researcher who died by suicide in late April. This has sent shockwaves through the community, with many, including Representative Tim Burchett, questioning the timing. William Neal McCaslin, a general, retired Air Force Major General, who went missing earlier this year. His background in Air Force research labs makes the disappearance the smoking gun for many. Amy Eskridge, the anti-gravity researcher from Alabama, her death is being revisited because she explicitly stated in the podcast before her passing that her life was being threatened for planning a UAP disclosure. Anthony Chavez, a retired Los Alamos nuclear engineer who vanished from his home in New Mexico just last year. For reference, I had a physical recently, including a heart check, and I'm not suicidal, and I'm happy, and I love life. Okay, so anyhow, the disappearing T's, Dr. Greer's stance, Rob Finnerty, shout out to Rob, he had Dr. Stephen Greer on his show. Dr. Greer has been vocal lately about the slow walk disclosure, particularly following the 2026 executive order to release UAP files. His argument is the credibility argument. Greer maintains the point, or his main point, I should say, is that by trickling out blurry videos and redacted documents, the government is trying to control the narrative to frame ETs as a threat, a false flag, to justify space-based weapons. Dr. Greer has often stated that most ETs are peaceful and are not here to cause harm. His message to the suits, he has publicly stated that he told officials to release it all because the public can handle the truth, and trying to protect people only makes the government look like they're lost control of the secret. The link to technology, Greer argues that the real secret isn't aliens, but zero-point energy and anti-gravity. If that tech were released, it would end the fossil fuel economy overnight, which is why he believes the scientists are disappearing. Their conversation moves into the distraction theory, UFOs versus the Epstein files. Are these UFO UAP files being released to take the public's eye off another situation? The distraction on May 8, 2026, the Pentagon released 162 files on UAPs and UFOs. The other situation, Dr. Greer and many in our audience have pointed out that the massive dump happened exactly as new high-profile names and revelations were surfacing from the Epstein file. Howard Lutnick, testimony on May 6 to Congress. Leon Black, his hush money investigation. The Chappell Roan Wasserman fallout. The Epstein Files Transparency Act backlash. The discovery of room 9582, a secure facility skiff, and the burn bags inside the J. Edgar Hoover building. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but an agent comes into Cash's office, says, "Look what I found," or "Look what we found," or whatever. Anyhow, the evidence inside, they found 5 massive burn bags, typically used for destroying classified material, that were still intact and full of documents. Now, just a little piece on this: they supposedly had destroyed all of this stuff, but this represents about 15% of what there was. So there was a lot of documents that were probably gone forever. The content: these bags reportedly contained evidence related to the James Comey era, specifically regarding the origins of the Russia investigation and the burn bagging of records that should have been preserved or turned over to Congress. Greer's take: he argues that disclosure is being used as a tactical shield, releasing just enough alien news to dominate the headlines so public stops looking at the criminal accountability involving powerful elites. And he's probably right. Did the missing scientists know how to bridge the gap between the elite corruption and the hidden technology? Amy Eskridge, father, claims that, I don't think there's anything mysterious about her death. I mean, people die, and she took her own life or whatever. But here's the problem with that. Amy's father, Richard Eskridge, and his credentials are no joke. He's a retired NASA engineer who spent years at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Rocket City. Richard Eskridge background: he's a propulsion expert. He worked on highly complex cutting-edge projects, including a system to propel spacecraft using high-speed plasmoids. His collaborator was his daughter, Amy. Didn't just follow in his footsteps. She worked closely with him. Her co-founding of the Institute for Exotic Science was built on the foundation of advanced propulsion that she likely grew up around. His public stance, interestingly, when asked by News Nation and other outlets about the missing scientist pattern, Richard dismissed the idea of a conspiracy. He publicly stated that scientists also die just like other people, and said he didn't find Amy's death unusual, citing her ongoing personal struggles or whatever. The everyman question here, though, is does a retired military NASA scientist father downplay the mystery to protect the rest of his family? I bet he does. I bet he was told, "You got to say this." And that's my opinion. But, or does he genuinely believe it was a tragedy? Since since we don't know, we're just guessing. But the NASA family connection, mentioning the father as a NASA propulsion engineer while she is investigating anti-gravity, which is essentially propulsion without fuel, that's a direct link. So you have to question
Whoa.
his motives for saying such a thing.
Yeah.
I bet he's being threatened.
Yep.
Yep.
And a lot of these generals that switched, okay, they're getting ready for retirement. Okay, we're talking big money now. They're going to be, and they're told, this is the way it is. Back off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me tell you, think about it. Just put yourself into that situation. What would you do if you're going to go bankrupt and retire with nothing, or with a good life?
Yep.
Supposedly.
They've destroyed many lives.
Oh, yeah.
Many a life.
I mean, well, yeah, well, that's a whole nother subject.
It
going
is.
into.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we could get into the 110 that are on this list.
Yeah.
That would be a whole day's worth of
Yeah.
a whole show in
Yeah.
itself.
Like I said, we could spend days going over every little thing that's going on right now.
Yep.
I mean, there's stuff going on around the corner.
Yep. Right now.
Well, it's been going on for years and years and years. You take Tesla with all this electrical situation.
Yep.
Okay. Nothing new. What we're finding out. Everybody just looks at the past. How did they build pyramids and move granite that weighs more than we can handle today, miles across the ocean, over the mountain?
Yep.
Construct them where we can't do it today. And they're still standing today. We haven't got a building that would stand that test of time.
Were you aware of it though?
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I haven't been following it.
As soon as I saw it on TV.
Oh yeah, I've been aware of it, but I just haven't been
Right.
following it. I
hear
see
you.
little
You know what? When I
blips
saw
once
it,
in
I
a
thought,
while on stuff,
they're
and I
not
try to
talking
catch
about
it.
this on
but,
mainstream.
I'm just
This is
not
going to be an
staying up with
Everyman's
it.
voice discussion. This was like 10 days ago.
It's not a
It's hard.
problem because it's a good thing, but there's so much stuff going on
Oh.
right now.
And I've got a whole bunch
You-
more that we're going to talk
You
about.
don't have
here
enough
that's
time
not
in
even
one day
related.
to even
It might
bring
be
up a
tied to
title
this.
for everything going on. Because I mean, you got stuff like the SPLC and the gerrymandering, which you're going to be bringing up, the SAVE Act,
We
how Thune needs to be gone because he's a piece of
not.
something else.
We could pick
Because
topics like this
he's
apart
not
all day
he's
if we
not
wanted to.
doing
Go
what's
all
right
day
for
long.
America. It's what for him. But yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so
It's
much
tough.
stuff
One thing
happening.
that's happening
You don't
now
have enough time to
is
cover
that
a title for
people
each one
are
in one day.
putting everything together. They're looking and they're putting it together.
Yeah,
And,
I agree.
And because of the podcast system,
Yep.
and getting away from the news media, supposedly, when I was a young man, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
The news media was it. You could guarantee Russia, they propaganded everything. The United States is open and tells the people everything. Well, it's not that way anymore, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
good that it's
independent
getting out in the
journalists
open, though,
broke everything
because
open.
if they weren't doing it, and what's that guy out in with the fraud guy out there in Arizona and California, the young kid?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's breaking a lot of
Oh,
shit, and he's been getting threats.
Yeah, he opened that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same
He went
guy.
over there.
Is he
and
the guy
he,
that
he broke it
did
out.
all the stuff up in Minnesota
Nick
too?
Shirley.
Yep.
Because if he wasn't doing this
Yeah.
stuff, shout out to Nick Shirley. If he wasn't
Nick
doing this
Shirley.
stuff, it probably would
Yep.
never get brought out in the open, and it would just pass us by,
Yep.
and we'd never know the truth.
Well, this is the way the news media, the true news, is coming out now. It's really being done by certain podcasters and people that are researching what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, and
And
it's
the
going
news.
on. So people are paying more attention to podcasters now than the national news agencies. And the reason you know that is because they'll go do something and put it
Yeah.
out there, and
Yeah, the
hell,
bigger
it'll have half a million
podcasters for
hits
sure. Yeah.
within a couple of hours. So you know people are watching it. And I mean it's well, I mean even a small one put something out there, and it goes
If it gets
viral like
picked
you
up
wouldn't
by
go
somebody,
because I mean
and the word can
a
go
big
out,
one will
then
pick it
yeah,
up,
it can go viral.
and then it
quick.
just
There's so much fraud going on.
Yeah.
They were talking tonight
oh yeah
that
oh yeah
California, Massachusetts, Minnesota, in California, the SNAP program the taxpayers are paying. There's 186,000 dead people that are receiving benefits.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
You know,
Yep.
it's amazing, and the millions and millions.
All right, well, moving
For
on
Medicare.
here. Tulsi Gabbard's office was raided by the CIA. Yeah. Well, here's something that you got to
Yeah,
stop thinking about.
I seen a
Trump would
headline
not
on that.
have
What's
given
going on with
them
that?
orders to do this. So they are not above the president of the United States. 15% of the destroyed files left and in possession may have been their target. At 15% of the files we talked about. But it makes you wonder: is this an act of treason by our own CIA, or at least the director of the CIA? Have the CIA gone rogue? Because this, how can they raid the national defense offices without the permission from the president? And Trump didn't give this. He's on Tulsi's side. He didn't give them permission to do this. So how did this happen? It's a rogue agency, is what it is.
Well, who signed off on that?
Somebody had to. I don't know about a judge, but somebody.
Well, but
had
I
to.
mean,
yeah,
they had to have some sort of judge sign off on something. What judge
could
signed
very well
off?
be.
Well, that's the system.
Well, I mean,
That,
they-
it should have
I
been.
bet
Yeah.
the judge had to
They
sign
should
off
have
on
been.
it for the warrant and stuff. So
Yep,
that's
I agree.
that's
So
like
that brings us to
that's like for the Mar-a-Lago
justice and
thing.
accountability
Somebody had to
thing.
sign off on it.
Comey and Fauci, just to name a couple. It's finally looking like something might come of some of this stuff, but it's still just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, Comey and the Shell thing, 8647. I mean, come on, he's guilty of so much more than that, and they're talking
Yeah.
about some of this stuff. It's coming up to where they might not be able to prosecute them at a federal level because of the statutes, but states. He's like 2 days past it now, I think.
Well,
Now-
Fauci's.
But
Fauci's
states is
already-
another story. They can still go after him.
I don't
Oh,
think.
yeah, he's
wait a minute,
passed it.
Ice.
Since Monday.
Treason. I don't have the time limit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Treason against a country, your country.
Treason doesn't have a statute.
So that what's happening?
Yeah,
That's treasonous
treason
acts.
does not. But
No matter
what
how
they're
you
wanting to
figure it.
do,
Killing people by the thousands, okay, because of
Thousands. The numbers I'm hearing
Million.
recently are over 1 million died from that vaccine.
Oh, so there you go. And as far as Comey goes, that was treasonous act,
That's Nuremberg kind of
right? Okay. So what are we doing here? This is all smoke screens that
Yeah.
they're putting in front of us. Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
To stop, so we're not doing it. This is a problem.
Just
And
like they're afraid to rock the boat. Well, it's almost like they're afraid to rock the boat. I'm telling you, Trump and the DOJ,
see what sticks.
what they need to do is they need to treat that
I like
shit
that.
like
Treat it
spaghetti,
like spaghetti.
and throw it on the wall and see
I
what
get it.
sticks. I mean, that's what
They
I mean. Well, but I mean that's what they're going to need to do because
This is why Pam Bondi's
if
gone.
anything they try to do, there's so many rogue activist judges
Block
out
stuff.
there that
Yeah, Bozeberg.
block it. like they had that
Yeah.
one judge, Boasberg, I
And
think
the
it was, that
Supreme
said
Court
you
said
have
that
to
he
turn
didn't
the
have that
plane around
authority.
mid-flight, carrying everybody down to El Salvador.
Yeah, no
Well,
judge
who the
does.
hell are
No
you?
judge. They have authority over their district, is what the
Well,
Supreme
he
Court
doesn't
said.
have that authority
These
anyhow
judges have their
over that.
authority
No,
over their district,
they
and that's
can't.
it.
Yeah,
We have to. Trump
yeah.
has to take the bull by the horns. And I'm going to say something that's probably a little off, but I think he should institute martial law and take our country back.
It may come to that, and I wouldn't be
Because I'm
surprised if
gonna
it comes
tell you-
fairly soon.
Because the way things are going, you're not getting. It seems like every time we take steps forward, looks like something's happening, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It goes by the wayside, and something new is pumped up.
Yep.
We're not grabbing the bull by the horn.
I really hope he doesn't have to do that.
I hope he doesn't either, but you never know.
Boy, this isn't.
I
He's
mean,
only got a
but
4-year term.
We're
He's
not dealing with a Democrat and a Republican Party anymore.
No,
We're
no,
not.
No.
We're right.
I mean,
This
completely.
is the 13.
Yeah.
This is George Soros and company all the way through.
Yep.
This is not what you think it is.
This is
This
the
is
stuff that's
bigger.
been talked about by the conspiracy theories
Right,
for
exactly.
about the last 10 years, and you're starting to see a lot of it
Coming
come
out.
true.
It's
Yeah.
all coming true. That's right, and really. And we've been persecuted, you and I,
Yeah.
okay, from
We all
when we
probably have.
started this,
Yep.
all of us, okay? And
Oh, I've
and-
been flagged and pulled off of stuff and everything, and
Oh,
Yep.
putting my views out there. But what stuff I was saying was true.
It's all coming true. It was
It
true
is.
then, it was true now, and
I mean,
but the truth is coming out.
yeah.
well,
So, so we'll move on to the next one here. This is getting into the gerrymandering thing. Obama, recent activities. While he had been remaining mostly behind the scenes, lately he has been pushing redistricting efforts. He remains heavily involved in the National Democratic Redistricting Committee, which is actively fighting Republican-led redistricting plans. I have trouble saying that word, in states like Virginia and Iowa. Public appearances. His former strategist, David Axelrod, just gave a major lecture May 8th discussing polarization and technology, often seen as a proxy for the former president's current messaging. The former president has resurfaced with a specific focus on Virginia. The strategy: he's pushing a constitutional amendment in Virginia to temporarily suspend the bipartisan redistricting commission. The goal, if successful, the Democrat-controlled legislature would redraw the maps, potentially flipping 4 seats to the Democrats, just in time for the midterms. The irony? Obama has always spoke out against this until now, and how it could benefit the Democrats. The New York Times wrote, former President Barack Obama this week inserted himself into the national debate over partisan gerrymandering with his proprietary blend of self-righteousness, self-interest, and duplicity. You can find ads where he is against gerrymandering. Obama has flipped now that seats are on the line. Below I have links to The Hill, where an article about Obama introduces the campaign to combat partisan gerrymandering. But he's actually, they've kind of twisted that a little bit. He's actually trying to teach people how to stop the Republicans from being able to get more seats. And ironically, back when the Democrats had control, they did it themselves.
yeah, they did.
So, all right. So that's enough about that. They don't talk about that too much, but you see him out there, but they try to make him look like he's doing something good.
Well, between him and Jeffries, they
Yeah.
spent $70 million of the DNC's fund
Yeah.
for Virginia to get redistricting done.
I heard that.
$70 million.
Yep. I heard that.
And now Obama's trying to get in and help Virginia because they want to push the date back, or the retirement age back on the judges there, the Supreme Court justices there.
Yeah. Right.
So that way and make it retroactive, which would put them out and then void their last decision. But the Democrats in Virginia are having fighting in their own party right now, saying, no, we can't be doing that.
And what's going to really change things is the SCOTUS's recent determination that they're ruling that the redistricting cannot involve race.
No.
And that's what most of this has been based on.
Yep.
And so some of these have been turned around to their former maps because they were based on, the blacks over here, they
Right.
need to be represented better.
Well-
Well, okay, that's based on race. They're
Yeah.
saying you can't do that.
That's
Yeah.
when Obama went to the race card.
Yeah.
When he became president, it was all about race and all about, changing demographics.
Yep.
All right, so we'll move on now to the SAVE Act. Anything new on that?
Nothing really new. I mean, I sent my email, got a reply back. It was basically links to stuff we already knew. Some information that I had asked about certain things on the requirements and everything. Well, they said they couldn't get into it in detail because there are ongoing lawsuits if people don't know. And I guess the ACLU and a couple of other groups are getting together and suing the state trying to block this. But some of the stuff that I did find out, I went and did a little research and looking for some people that don't know. A lot of people already know this, but some people may not. SAVE Act has been signed in, and it's supposed to go into effect 1 January of 2027. So it won't be in time for the 2026 election. The stuff I did find out, way it currently stands, in Florida, if you have a real ID, it won't work for the National SAVE Act if it gets passed. It'll work in Florida currently, because what it is they will match the state database, because in order to get your real ID in Florida, you have to prove all your stuff, that you're a citizen and stuff.
Right.
And so you're already, according to Florida, good. You're just not, you don't have the enhanced license
Right.
like a few other states do. But so you're good on that. The only time it'll get updated for your citizenship and stuff is whenever you have to go do a renew, or if you change your voter affiliation. If you do, say you're an independent and you want to become a Republican or a Democrat, just say, God forbid, I hope you don't, but if you do, that's on you. But if you switch parties or anything, then you have to go re-update your ID because they won't verify it. It's not in the system or the database anymore like they said it would be.
No.
And
Good thing I didn't go change mine.
Well,
but
that's a good idea.
But in 2027, whenever they start wanting that ID, to save them a little bit of time and stuff, you can go and get your driver's license renewed. Basically what it is, and they haven't decided where they're going to put it at on the license yet. What they're going to do, what they've settled on is like NC for non-citizen. That'll be somewhere on the license. And if you are a citizen, it'll be somewhere on the license. And they said they're trying to decide if they want to put it up next to the star or not. One thing I was reading and did find out, because you know how we had the question on if you got a veteran status on your license already, that doesn't count as the citizen thing. They don't see it as that.
Yeah, well, you can be in
In the service
you
and
can be
not
in the
be,
service and not be a. They have.
Yeah.
Them. They
Yeah.
have them. Yep.
But basically, if you have a passport and your birth certificate, whenever you go do your driver's license or renew your driver's license, they'll set your citizen up on that, off of that. So, or your state citizenship testing and stuff that foreigners take to become a U.S. citizen. I mean, I don't know all the terminology for all the tests and stuff. There's too
If
many
you got
of
a
them.
passport, you just use that.
Yeah, if you got
Done.
a passport, you can
Yeah.
just use that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want your ID fixed to where you don't have to have anything but your license when you come in, because even though you got a passport, they say they still want another form of ID. So that's everything I found so far. And that's all stuff everybody can just go and look them up.
You just look
I
it
mean,
up.
yeah, you can just look it up everywhere. If you start typing it in, the bill is HB-991. That's the bill for the
Okay.
Florida Save Act.
That's the Florida Save Act.
That's the
Right.
Florida
Yeah,
Save
right.
Act. That's
Okay.
not the U.S. Save Act
Right.
or the Save America
America
Act. It's
Act,
the Save Florida Act is what they
Right.
call it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they just
Well-
wanted to get ahead of the ball game.
Right.
And they said once, from some of the stuff that I was reading in the bill, that HB 991, is that if they do pass the Federal Save Act, that once we have our lost my train of thought, or advanced driver's licenses, if you go get it done, then you'll be in compliance with the Federal Save Act too, if that goes through. If they
Well,
ever get
maybe-
off their duff and do it.
Right. Maybe by the end of the year, there'll be some movement in this, and you'll have some further information we can
Yep.
bring about.
Yeah.
So
I'm
we'll-
just interested to find out what's going on with the lawsuit and what they're trying to fight. 'Cause-
Right.
And they're basically saying people can't go get it's hindering low income people and people of
It's not.
ethnicities and stuff. And I'm like, no, it's not.
You know
You
why?
have to have an ID for
You have to
everything.
have a state ID if you don't have a driver's license.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to have an ID for it.
You have to have an
Almost
ID for everything you do.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Except-
And I mean, even if it's problematic for some people, I don't care. Get it. There's webs, you can go to every single state and put in for your birth certificate. They will find your birth certificate for you.
Right.
They will help you. Yeah, it might be $30 to get it done, but you need your damn birth certificate anyhow.
It was 50 for me, but who-
Yeah. Well,
still
but I
not
mean,
a small price. It's a small price.
but it's
to
a
pay.
small price to pay for the right to be voting.
There's
If you're not willing to put out a few bucks to prove who you are, you don't need to be voting
I wish I had the website, but when I did it, there was actually a website that I went to that does it for you.
Yep.
You pay the $50. You tell them what city and state you were born in and what year and what day and all that shit, and then they go get it done for you.
Yep.
And it comes in the mail.
Yep.
That's what I did.
That's what my son used to do.
Yep.
He was a genealogist. He
Yeah.
worked for the Boston, in the court systems and stuff like that. And he would do, let's say you were an Indian in Alaska, and you gotta have a certain percentage to get the money from the oil that's being pulled
Yep.
out of the ground. So you just can't say, well, I'm 10% Indian here,
Yeah.
or I'm 50% Indian.
Yeah.
Well, they in the courts, they hire someone like my son, and he would do the research, background, document his, and that was,
Yep.
he didn't do it privately. He did it for the court
Yeah.
systems,
But yeah, I mean, sorry, that's all the information I got.
Well, you tried.
mean,
and you got what you got.
Yeah. Well, and I
Um,
mean, hopefully anybody that doesn't know about some of this stuff, that they have a little bit of an idea on it. So.
Yep.
And I mean, you can go check Grok or Chat GTP, whatever you want.
Said pretty
And
much
just-
the same things you said.
Yeah, and I mean it'll pretty much tell you all the same stuff, but
Yep.
I mean I actually went on the government websites and that's where I was reading all this stuff. So the Florida websites.
Yep.
Like
As we speak.
like our poor little town of Inglewood doesn't even fall in the category of no illegals. We
Right.
had right next to our store where
Yep.
I work, they had an illegal that raped a 17-year-old,
Yeah.
and he admitted to it.
Don't worry, guys. I'll edit out
Okay, please. Yeah.
It'll just say in our own little town. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh yeah, but yeah. You know what we're seeing. We're talking about each one, all these different things, these guys being shut down and all that. And what is happening, we are seeing between the picture, putting everything together and seeing where it all makes sense and falling together as a puzzle.
Yep.
Okay, and that's where we are right now with podcasts in our country.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I'm telling you right now, this is happening.
Yep. A lot of the podcasters out there, like us, are probably just saying, you know, hey, I did some research and this is what I found and this is what I think, and they're probably spot on. But at the same token, you know, there's going to be some that might say, oh, I did some research and I found this, and I don't know, I disagree with him or whatever, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
but it all comes together.
The truth is out there, and in the end, the truth comes out.
You can't put every piece of puzzle in place, even though it looks like it. It's not the right spot. Yeah, exactly.
And just
I'm not afraid to say that I'm not a smart man. I don't know everything, but I can still look stuff up and research it.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody.
I consider you a pretty smart man.
Anybody can look stuff up and research it. If you want to know bad enough, you're going to find out.
Just so you know, I learned a lot from you in the last 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 years or whatever it's been. You know,
9 years, no, 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years, whatever. Yeah, it's been a long time. A lot
12
longer
years.
than
When did you come down here?
What was that? 2014? Can't remember. 2012 or 2014. It's been so long ago, I forgot.
Yeah.
I came in 2012.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. I remember when you came in, and but you know, we are really looking into this and want to really know what's going on, so that this is our country.
Well,
we want to.
That's the reason we're doing this.
Right.
Exactly.
And
we're doing everything we're doing right here, and you did it back when you did military stuff. You did it when you did police work. You did it whenever you did plumbing stuff and everything, because you had to do stuff to help your family, make everybody else's better. I did it whenever I did my military activity. Everything we do for the betterment of the country, and that's what we're wanting. We don't want our country to be ran over by a bunch of illegitimate people that want to burn our country to the ground because they want power. I
don't want my granddaughters and their kids or whatever on down the road when I'm long gone. I don't want them living like they're in a third world country or like they're in a communist country or whatever. I want them to enjoy the freedom that we had especially when we were kids, because I think we had a lot more freedom when we were kids.
Yep,
we did. And you know what? We did, and we said the President Legion in school, and we had respect. Everything was taught to us that way. And when we eliminated the parenting of children and the government telling you what to do with a child is where the complete breakdown of the country.
Yep.
And you know, everybody keeps going, oh, it's one parent households and stuff. No, I'm here to tell you, I've known some single parents. The mothers were scary. The dads, not so much. But then I went to another household. The dad was scary. But if you go into any household, most of the time, the mothers there, they run it. The dads do the discipline and control.
Exactly the way it was in my family.
And I'm here to tell you, you don't, and I'm not saying that having a two parent household is bad. I'm just saying people that say a one parent household is bad. No, it's just different. They have to learn how to do stuff. But the big thing about today's society is parents started doing the timeout shit. And I'm just going to say it like it is.
Oh, you're going to hurt the child because you put them in the corner and kneel down.
And everybody got a participation trophy. They didn't learn that if you don't try,
You don't try harder, you're not
you-
going to win.
You're not going to win.
Yeah, so the
There always has to be a loser, and there always has to be a winner. I
Right.
mean, that's just the way life is.
the loser has to work to get better,
And
Yep.
if
no
you
matter
look,
what it was.
look
You
at it
learn.
in, like this, you know, the prime example is the animal kingdom. You know, they got to eat,
Yep.
and that coyote is going to eat that rabbit. Well,
Yep.
the coyote's the winner, the rabbit's the loser,
Yep,
and that's just how life
Yeah.
is.
that's just nature.
Well, there's no discipline in school either anymore.
No, there's not.
No,
Back then, if you got out of hand, you got paddled.
Yep.
And then you were dumb enough to take a letter home to your parents, which you did. But then that strap come off in 1.2 seconds.
Yep. You,
tried that once,
You-
but
you-
and
you-
school called home too.
When
so
they called home, you wish they
And then that taught you.
It's
Then
like,
that,
it's like
Dreaded that
mom
call.
says, "Do you have something for me?"
yeah.
that's
No, mom. What do you mean?
That's like being picked up by the cops. They go, "We're going to call your parents." No, just throw my ass in jail for the night. I'm
Right.
fine.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll sleep in the floor in the corner. It'll be good.
Well, that's where respect started.
Yes,
there,
it is.
there is none anymore.
No,
Yeah.
there isn't.
Even these teachers, you know, what I mean, they everything's out of hand.
Yeah.
Well, it's been
Spare the whip,
It's
spoil
been-
the child.
Yep.
infiltrated by the left situation.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
It's been DEI'd and
Yep. Yeah.
dumbed down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 and 2 is 5. That's close enough.
Right.
You know.
But folks,
What
I'd
are
like
you
to
doing?
thank you for coming and watching our show today. And if you liked what you saw today, hit the like button or hit the thumbs up button if you're on Rumble. Follow us or subscribe, whichever the format is on whatever you're watching it. And leave a comment and we'll try to reply. And if you have any topics you'd like us to discuss, mention that in a comment too, and we'll see if we can't pick that up on one of our future shows. And thanks again for coming. And again, we got Redneck Ron, and we got Special K, and we got Biker Bob, and Patriotdewd here, and we're all saying good night and have a
And
good one.
going.
Good one.
That's good.